Hey everybody, this is Captain Kyle and I'm here with a special Transformers review. This time we're going to be reviewing the unfortunately named Scrapface from the Netflix War For Cybertron line. And while this is technically not a versus review,
actually this is indeed a versus review.
We may bring in another Transformer for comparison purposes. Be right back. So Scrapface is a recolor, repaint of Siege Refraktor, who I will henceforth refer to as Reflector, because that's his name. So he is identical, except in coloration, to the Siege Reflector. He has some cool coloration actually. It's kind of neat looking. It looks like he actually has some battle damage as well. I just don't know why they went with the name of Scrapface. We haven't really explored the psyche of this character. I don't know if he's got issues, but I would have to say Scrapface is one of the most unfortunate names for a Transformer since Stinkbomb and Windbreaker. Now to help with this review, of course, I'm bringing in Reflector so we can compare the differences in the coloration in robot mode, vehicle mode, and camera mode. But as you can imagine, Scrapface is identical in every way in posability. Can do a Jean-Claude Van Damme, just like the original Reflector from Siege. Can bend the elbows, move out the shoulder, turn the head. Of course, turning the head is also part of the transformation. Comes with this handy shield that looks amazingly like a third of a camera lens. A weapon, a gun, and this interesting little circular lens type thing. Now it does go in the front. If I have multiples of that character for the other ones, I will put it in the back, so there could be only one with the lens for the camera.
There can be only one.
But obviously it's needed for the other form. And it's a handy way to store it. Got too Skadiva, but anyway. When you look at the coloration compared to that of Reflector, you can see that the paint detailing is in many different places. Reflector has more of the paint detailing towards his knees, whereas it's on the shins of Scrapface here. It also has interesting metallic blue coloration as opposed to this more flat purple and silver. Even the lens is quite a bit different. As you can see, it's got the blue interior with the more flat gray exterior, where this is a lighter gray, but only one color. You have a little bit of detailing on the belt, whereas here there is no such detailing. They both have Decepticon symbols on their shoulders, but whereas the arms of Reflector are entirely gray, here the shoulders are blue, going into a dark gray, and having some paint applications further down, and the fists, in fact, are blue. So I would have to say, as far as interesting colors, Scrapface's colors are a lot cooler. Even on the head, there's some detailing that is not present on Reflector. Of course, Reflector is a spot-on image for the cartoon version of the character, so I'm not going to complain too much about Reflector's colorations, but there's definitely some differences. When you look at the back, though, you can see that Scrapface is a lot more monochrome than even Reflector, because everything appears dark on the back here, including the skis for the attack hover vehicle, whatever it is on Cybertron. Can't really do a size comparison because they're the exact same mold, exact same dimensions, but there are definitely some really nice paint apps on Scrapface. Great paint, horrible name. All right, let's compare the vehicle modes. Now, Scrapface turns into this attack hovercraft. It's got little skis on the bottom, big gun in the front, this airfoil thing that still looks like a third of a camera lens to me, little fan in the back, I guess that's what it is, and it can fly around and shoot at Autobots, I imagine. That's probably the job that, they would give Scrapface. When you compare it to the assault hovercraft that is Reflector, you can see on the shield there's a little bit stripe of red that this one doesn't have. This is more of a gradient color. It goes from blue to a darker gray. There's also a lot more shine here. And the canopy of the hovercraft is like a red window as opposed to a clear one. And instead of having greenish, this is totally dark. You can see the paint apps from the shins have now gone to the sides of the hovercraft. and look pretty cool. And you can also see the paint apps on the arms, make it a little more interesting looking as well. Overall, coloration wise, Scrapface is definitely one to get. All right, let's check out the camera modes. So here we have 3 Scrapfaces that are merged into the camera and 3 reflectors, or well, viewfinder, spectro, and spyglass, merged into a camera. And again, because of the different paint apps, this particular camera looks a bit more interesting with the paint detailing on the front, the paint coloration of the lens itself. Now I like to put one of the buttons on top as if that's where you're going to actually press the button. A very cool looking camera. Of course, Reflector is also cool looking, but in this case, it doesn't seem as detailed, doesn't have quite the shine of Scrapface. And of course, because people are going to wonder what they all look like together, you can't beat the Generation Select Limited Reflector, which is made up of different colored bots and has the additional flash and stuff that goes with a camera, so making this the best looking camera out of all of them. But you could potentially take these parts and put them on one of the others if you wanted to. But overall, I would definitely have to say Scrapface, despite the name, is a great addition to the camera crew, so to speak. Now, Scrapface is a Walmart exclusive, though I think there's a store that also carries him in England that is not Walmart because they don't have them in England. I'll put that information in the description. And of course, you could always look on eBay to see if you could find Scrapface, if you can find them no other way. But I definitely recommend Scrapface. Just I wish they'd come up with a better name. But while we're waiting for them to come up with a better name, you can check out these other videos over here. You could also subscribe right down there, hit that notification bell, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Sky says goodbye. We'll see you next time. And as always, have fun and good hunting.